not only fragile, but heavy as heck. I mean, I'm able to pick this box up, but I wouldn't feel comfortable carrying it too far. I don't know how much it weighs. I'll have to look it up. But it is much, much larger than what I was expecting based on the photos. Just to give a size comparison, that's a 12 amp hour, 12 volt battery. And then this is the 48 volt, we'll call it LifePo. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but we'll just go with that. So the plan is to put this in the golf cart instead of 6 8-volt golf cart batteries. My hope is that this will last significantly longer between charges than the standard batteries, and also last longer than the expected 5-year lifespan of a typical golf cart battery. So I will show you the process of installing this, converting your golf cart to this, and hopefully also converting the charging port on your golf cart to take this, because you can't use a standard golf cart charger on a LifePo battery. This is the type of charger you have to have for a LifePo battery. This was about $100. I don't know how easy this will be to just plug and play, but I might be able to do something where I cut these ends off and put the golf cart charger plug on it and then run wires inside the golf cart itself, so that nobody accidentally plugs in the golf cart charger and messes up the LifePo battery. Just to see what we're dealing with straight out of the box. It is fully charged, ready to go, 52.5 volts. And these are absolutely necessary. You have lifting handles. I don't know why every battery, including your just normal car batteries and so forth, don't have lifting handles, because they never want you to pick stuff up by the terminals or the water caps or anything like that. But when they don't give you handles, there's usually not anything else you can grab, especially if you start to slip and it's going to fall and you just got to grab something. So this will make it easier to lift. You see, it's still very heavy. The first thing we want to do is disconnect the battery from the golf cart. Mine are 9/16. So my ground is now disconnected. I'll just disconnect all of these, and since I'm not replacing 6 batteries, I don't have to pay too much attention to the routing. However, if you were just replacing batteries, it'd be a good idea to have a photo or something that you can refer to see how the hots and grounds connect, because they would have to go back in exactly the same. And so just as an abundance of precaution, I'm going to go ahead and film that so I have it for reference if I ever have to go back to this battery setup. And mine has these 3 battery hold down plates, and they're just held on with 1/2-inch nuts. So I will remove those nuts, and the little metal bar will come up, and then there's basically a very long, for lack of a better term, bolt that kind of has like a J hook at the bottom. And typically they fall as soon as you remove the nut, so just be prepared for that. Those 1/2-inch nuts removed, these little hold down bars and washers come, and then like you see, the little J hook bolts fall down, and you gotta dig them out once you get the battery out. And you can see what I'm talking about. You just naturally want to grab this and pull, but that damages the battery. But they don't have any kind of handles, so you got to go buy battery handles, which is annoying, but I'll show you what they look like. Expensive as these batteries are, you'd think they could put a handle on there for you, but they don't. So I bought this one off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. And I guess they're more S hook than J hook, but that's what the little hold downs look like. I'm just gonna store them put together, like I said, in case I ever need them. I just did a test fit, and you see there's a little bit of a space issue maybe. I did contact the company. They said it's okay to leave it in an angle like that, so I don't need to put anything under the side to make it level. I do have everything working now. Alright, after seeing how terrible 48 volt battery was going to sit in here, I just didn't like that at all. I decided to get 4 12 volt batteries, which are closer in size to the original batteries. They're a little bit different dimensions, so they don't fit perfect. What I did is get some angle aluminum here, cut it. Mine was about 10 1/4 inches across, because these batteries, you see, they are a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is put the angle aluminum there, another piece across here, and that should secure the batteries, at least for moving around that way. I'll still have to come up with a way to secure them down so they don't bounce around when you're driving. They're going to sit at a slight angle, about like that would be 2, and then the other one on the driver's side. The nice thing is these are so much easier to handle than even a standard golf cart battery. It's certainly a whole lot easier than those 48 volt, which were extremely heavy. So here is likely the final product. You see they are epoxied down, so they're not going anywhere, at least for now. So that's how they will fit. Like I said, I still need to come up with a method to hold them down, but at least they're not going to slide side to side. One will sit like that. So we're going to go red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, and then this will be the ground. That will be the hot for the main. I still haven't decided what to do with this yet. It's a 3-wire charger, and it looks like one of the wires kind of loops into this, which may be a fuse or something. I don't really know. I don't have any schematics on how this works, but obviously the charger for these just has 2 wires, a hot and a ground. So I don't know if I want to just cut one of these wires or what. It's kind of hard to tell like what goes where, so I'll do the best I can to see. There's another wire that is just sitting. I have no idea what that goes to or what it went to. So I'll have to possibly get under here and trace some of these, see what they're supposed to do. Alright, this is what it's going to look like. I've got those picked out to connect them together, and then obviously the hot will go on that side and the ground will go on that side for the totality of the golf cart and all the accessories and so forth. And I'm going to put Kydex between here mainly, I guess I'm being a little bit overly paranoid having lithium batteries and the thought of any kind of sparking or fire. So I'll put something here that if any of this stuff ever sparks, hopefully it will be contained. I'll put like an L-shaped piece of Kydex, and hopefully you can see down in there I put the L metal to hold it in place, both all the way across the rear and then down the middle there on both batteries, whereas the frame of the cart holds it on the outsides, if you want to call it that. So anyway, there it is. 4 12-volt batteries. When I tie them together, it'll be 48 volts. I'm salvaging those 3 cables there to connect the batteries to each other. So we'll have ground to hot there, ground to hot there, ground to hot there. And I'm pre-measured those 3 will work. Alright, the test connection is live. So you can see what I was talking about with connecting hots to grounds. It has 52.8 volts when you do this. You see I have everything lit up just to demonstrate that it's all working. Everything's fused. I even have fuses on both sides, hot and ground, just to be extra safe, as well as a cutoff switch on the ground there that I can just flip and it instantly disconnects. I had a piece of scrap Kydex laying around, so I thought I'd put it in here just to kind of see. So that's sort of what I'm talking about, but obviously it needs to be better than just laying in there. But I wanted to test out the golf cart, kind of roll it around a little bit without driving too far. The good news is the terminals are not hot. That's usually a sign of, if they're hot, is usually a sign when you've got a problem somewhere, but they're staying nice and cool. So I feel comfortable taking the next step, which is to drive it forward and backwards a little bit. That's something I haven't seen in a long time. And the cool thing is these are 100 amp hour lithium, so that F should stay a whole lot longer than what it ever would have before. This is what I'm going to try it as a hold down. They are basically battery retention straps. You just wrap them around and buckle them in. And yes, I am overdressed. I did have a business meeting today, and it lasted a little bit longer than I was hoping, and so I wanted to get here as quick as possible, so I didn't go home and change. Since I'm wearing slacks and a dress shirt, I'm going to use this grabby tool to grab the other end, so hopefully I don't get as dirty as I would. Just press this, fish it through. Like that, and then just snug it up. And you want it real snug because you don't want your batteries to move around. Now, that being said, I did put a dab of silicone in all 4 corners of each battery as an additional preventative to keep them from moving, but this will definitely keep them from bouncing up and bouncing around. have too much strap than not enough. And I'll knot it on there. It'll give it one extra layer of protection, keeping these batteries from bouncing around. Because this will be operated in a rougher terrain, so there is going to be a lot of bouncing, and I don't want those batteries moving. So there's the final look. You see I put this piece of, we'll call it pleather, pea leather, fake leather, whatever you want to call it, in between there. Like I said, just on the off chance that there's any kind of sparking from switching gears or anything. I want to keep that away from these batteries. But now the final test will be go drive it out there on the terrain and see how much power this thing has and holds. And the cool thing is, despite all that driving, it's still showing a full charge. And that held up very well. You saw the bumpy ride, still nice and secure. So I would say yes, this is a successful thing that you can do to your golf cart, save a bunch of weight and double the life of your batteries.